Stop chasing customers and build a business they can find. That right there is the absolute core business growth strategy for 2026 and beyond. Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an entrepreneur, you already know the exhausting hustle of outbound sales. But today we're diving into a really powerful paradigm shift from our source material that completely flips the script. We're talking about moving away from trying to force growth and instead mastering your inbound engine.
So let's just start by taking a really honest look at your day-to-day operations. Are you constantly chasing customers, leads, and opportunities? Ask yourself, are you burning just massive amounts of energy trying to track down that next sale? Because, so many business owners spend countless hours locked in this exact cycle. They're hunting for growth day in and day out, but they never actually feel like they're getting ahead of the curve.
And this brings up a stark contrast between two very different approaches. Chasing opportunities? Well, that's a short-term, totally exhausting cycle. It's honestly like running on a treadmill. The absolute second you stop running, the leads stop coming. But building a robust digital foundation, that creates sustainable, long-term momentum. It's literally the difference between sweating it out on that treadmill versus building an escalator that naturally carries your business upward.
Now, when a business is struggling to gain traction, the natural and honestly kind of frantic reaction for most of us is to just do more. We convince ourselves the answer has to be more calls. Just pick up the phone, dial faster, push harder.
And when the calls don't pan out, we just rely on sheer volume. We start firing off endless emails, direct messages, texts, just sending them out into the void, right? Hoping someone, literally anyone, is going to respond.
And finally, out of sheer desperation, we resort to more advertisements. We throw money at promotions. We offer steeper discounts. And we end up trapping ourselves in this exhausting cycle of searching. And yeah, while those activities can give you a short-term spike, they keep you forever chained to the chase.
So instead of just hustling harder, our source material suggests stepping back for a second and looking at this brilliant, really calming principle. It says, if you chase butterflies, they fly away. But if you build a beautiful garden, the butterflies will come. That single quote, that is the entire foundation for the inbound strategy we're exploring today.
And this metaphor, it maps perfectly to modern business strategy. The butterflies, they represent the exact things you want, right? Your customers, your referrals, partnerships, your sales opportunities. And the garden represents the digital presence and the business foundation that you need to cultivate to actually attract them. The more robust your garden is, the easier it becomes for people to naturally discover you, trust you, and choose you without you ever having to swing a net.
Which brings us to a crucial, seriously paradigm-shifting question. Why are customers not finding you on their own? Like, if you offer great products and services, but you're still struggling to generate consistent leads, you've got to figure out exactly where your foundation is leaking. Because answering that question changes absolutely everything about how you spend your time.
To answer it, we have to face what the source material calls the digital reality. Just think about your own buying habits for a second. When you need a service, what's the first thing you do? You search Google. You check reviews. You visit their website. Look at their social media to compare options. Well, your customers are doing the exact same thing. And if your garden isn't planted right there in the digital landscape, you're losing out on opportunities without ever even knowing you were in the running.
So, to build this garden, you need to focus on a few specific digital pillars that systematically increase your visibility. The blueprint includes a professional website, a strong overall digital presence, an optimized Google business profile, SEO, and lead capture automation. Every single one of these elements builds trust, and trust is the ultimate magnet for customers. Let's break down exactly how these work.
First up is your professional website. Look, this is far from just some online brochure. It is very often the very first impression a customer gets of you. It needs to clearly explain your services, it has to work flawlessly on mobile, load instantly, and actually be designed to generate inquiries. It's a 24/7 business development tool. If it looks outdated, prospects are just going to click away and go straight to your competitor.
Next is the Google Business Profile, which really highlights exactly why local visibility matters so much. For local businesses, Google is honestly often the most powerful lead generation tool on the planet. A properly optimized profile makes sure you actually show up in local searches and on Google Maps. And crucially, it displays those positive reviews that build instant credibility, literally before you've even spoken to the prospect.
Then we have search engine optimization, or SEO. The goal here is beautifully simple. You want to be highly visible at the exact moment a customer is actively looking for the solution you provide. It boosts your website traffic and your brand awareness. When someone types their problem into a search bar, SEO is the bridge that leads them directly into your garden.
Now, this introduces a really fascinating contrast when we talk about leverage. As a business owner, you have limits, right? You need sleep, you take vacations, you only have a finite number of hours in the day. Your digital presence, however, works 24/7. It's always visible, it's answering questions instantly through your content and FAQs, so while you're resting, your digital garden is out there tirelessly attracting and educating potential customers around the clock.
But attraction is really only half the battle. You also have to capture them, and that's where modern lead automation tools step in. By hooking up things like contact forms, WhatsApp integration, AI chatbots, and automated follow-ups, you make sure that when a butterfly actually lands in your garden, you don't miss it. These systems convert casual visitors into solid leads, even when you're totally tied up and you can't answer the phone.
When you put all of these pillars together, a fundamental truth really emerges. The businesses that win, the ones that grow consistently, they aren't always the biggest companies with the absolute most funding. Nope, they are simply the most visible and the most trusted. They're just the easiest to find, contact, and understand. Visibility creates the opportunity, and trust closes the deal.
Now, if building this entire digital foundation from scratch sounds a bit overwhelming, you definitely don't have to navigate it alone. The strategic framework for our explainer today comes directly from MRZ Canada Inc. Led by founder and director Rimzan Zakaria, this team literally specializes in architecting these exact systems for entrepreneurs. Their methodology covers everything from business registration support and professional branding all the way to web development, SEO, and comprehensive marketing strategy. Their methodology operates on this really clear three-step framework: analyze, strategize, and realize. It's perfectly designed to give you the strategic development you need to stop relying on chasing leads and start building incredible inbound momentum. For entrepreneurs who want to implement this exact system, you can find the resources and expertise at mrzcanada.ca or by calling 647-848-9966. It's really all about building the business first so the opportunities naturally follow.
So, I want to leave you with a single, incredibly powerful question to reflect on today. Take a look at your own operation right now and ask, can customers easily find your business online? If the answer is no, then that right there is exactly where your next massive growth opportunity is hiding. The goal isn't to stop marketing. The goal is to stop chasing. So, are you going to keep running around with a net, or are you ready to start building your garden?